Hello and welcome to Fibremates. My name is Gay and I'm here today with Marie. Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited, super excited because I saw on Instagram that Marie was in Melbourne and I was like, what? What is this? Where have I been? So I reached out to Marie and I said, hey, can we catch up for a quick chat? I'd love to have you on the show. And she said, yes.
Yay.
So thank you for making the time.
Oh, that's okay.
I know. Marie's normally based out of Canberra.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know her, she's the hand dyer behind Obsession Yarns.
Yes.
So before we go any further, I just want to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting and we are recording, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present.
Yeah.
I had visions of when I might interview you, right? And I have this whole thing set up in my head that you might actually do my makeup. Because I never wear makeup. And I was like, oh my God, for once I'll be able to have nice makeup. But anyway, that's okay. It's impromptu. We don't have a lot of time. I've got a work meeting in a couple of hours.
Maybe
so.
one day.
I know, one day, right? And we're going to get to that. But first we'll have a bit of some of the warm-up questions.
Sounds good.
Are you team coffee or tea?
Both. But I start with a tea in the morning. I only have ginger and lemongrass with extra ginger. And then I just have one coffee a day.
Yeah, I know. I love a coffee.
Yeah, gotta have a coffee. Latte.
Do you make your lemongrass and ginger?
I do. It's just like tea too. It's not like I prepare the ginger.
Okay.
Yeah, not that fancy. But yeah, that with just a dash of honey is the best thing ever. It's spicy and a little bit sweet.
Yep.
And I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really
That's
good.
a good start.
Helps with digestion as well. So I have 2 of those a day, sometimes 3. And yeah, I just have 1 coffee.
Nice. Okay. Knitting or crochet?
Purely knitting. I don't know how to crochet.
Me either, and I really want to learn.
Yes.
Aren't there so many really good crochet patterns?
Yeah, totally. There are so many. I really want to learn Tunisian crochet one day because I think some of those are really beautiful. But it's just something I've never really sort of picked up. So yeah.
I feel like I can't deal with I feel lopsided with one.
Yeah,
tool.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's similar to picking up stitches on a knitting
True.
Project,
Which it's not my favorite task.
No, same. Yeah, my current sweater, I picked up the neckline 3 times. It's just but yeah, I don't know, I think you'd adjust, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I sort of love the finish of knitting a bit more. I'm a bit of a knitting snob.
Yeah. Do you know what I really want to make at some point is one of those granny wraps. I think that would be fun and a really fun way to use.
They're kind of
leftovers.
iconic.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, leftovers,
really
definitely.
cozy.
Yes.
Okay. Now here's the harder question. This is the third warm-up.
Yeah.
Right? If you could dye only one color for the rest of your life, including all permutations of that color, what color would you pick?
It's a tough one because I think I would go literally insane having to just dye one colour for the rest of my life. But I think something like Valkyrie, which is just from my last year's advent calendar that I renamed that. Something that's not too complicated and really pretty and gives you a great outcome, and that one's nice and easy because I don't heat it during making it. I just dye it and then heat it once and it's done. So not many of my colours are like that. A lot of them need to be heated multiple times and cooled and stuff. So yeah, but Valkyrie's pretty because it's turquoise and blue and I love it. So yeah, that would be it. That if I had to pick one, that would be it. Some people might think, oh, what about your rainbow color? I'm it's actually really difficult to dye iris. And there's 3 stages in the process, and it's really time consuming, and you've got to get it all even, and you've got to get the black even, and yeah, so I wouldn't choose that.
Yeah.
Something simpler. Pretty.
Well, this has I've got like 6 follow-up questions in my mind for after that answer, but I think we're gonna get to it.
Okay.
In some of the other questions, but let's go back to the fact that you are an artist.
Yes.
Can you? And I think it's makeup, right?
Yeah.
Makeup artist.
Yeah.
Before you discovered your love of dyeing.
Yes.
Does that background influence how you approach dyeing?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Like, you know, when I was a makeup artist, my favorite part was like creative photo shoots, editorial photo shoots where, you know, unfortunately AI is sort of polluting that a bit these days. You see a lot of, you know, people can just chuck a prompt into Midjourney and, you know, pump out something that would take me literally hours to create, and then a photographer to shoot, and then post-production and the costuming and the hair and everything. So, yeah, you see things like that around these days. We used to make it by scratch, you know, from just a model with nothing and build it all up. And there's some, you know, there's still an industry out there doing it, but yeah, it's less and less, which makes me sad. But anyway, that was my favorite thing. And so a lot of like super bright colors and really avant-garde style. That was my vibe that I loved doing. So I did get bogged down in weddings and formals. I mean, look, I'm not bagging that. A lot of people love weddings and formals, and I had some great weddings, but I'm not really a rinse and repeat kind of girl. Like, I need different stuff. And with bridal, most of the time, it's just the same look stamped on everyone's face, which is, it's fine, you know, and it's great helping someone feel their best and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, my passion was with editorial and things for like TV and film, like special effects,
cool.
More characters than blood and gore, kind of like alien characters and things like that. I loved working with like skin textures and like, so then you've got speckles. I could maybe I can send you some pictures to put up of like the speckled skin textures I did for like some of the aliens, because I used to teach makeup as well. I taught the diploma.
Cool.
Yeah, at Canberra Makeup Academy and CIT for a while in Canberra. So yeah, I did like an alien section in the class where we'd teach, all different colours and layers and how colours work together and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I always loved working with pigment. So I guess it's really just transferring that pigment to a different medium. Because it's so it's definitely transferable. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The color theory.
So then, how did you make that transition from makeup artist to? Were you knitting already?
No. So I tried knitting a really long time ago, and I'm the sort of person that wants it to work now. Otherwise, I get frustrated and I'm like, screw this. And that was like a really long time, probably 15, 20 years ago. And I didn't pick it up again. I just had like this mum's old pokey old knitting needle bag with some acrylic yarn in it and some metal needles. That was just sitting in my cupboard. So it wasn't very inspiring. I didn't go there very much. But so Mike got the job here in Melbourne, and we were supposed to move here. And once he accepted the job, I didn't really want to move to Melbourne because I've done my stint in a big city in Sydney, and I was just like, just Canberra's just so easy. I just want to stay here. But it was the dream job, like lifetime sort of opportunity. So I couldn't let him turn it down. So we took it, and that was late 2019. So yeah, I know. So basically we were getting ready to move. I shut down my business. I was also doing eyelash extensions. I was basically full-time eyelash extensions and bridal, so there was no room for my creative stuff. I wasn't enjoying it anymore, so I wasn't too sad, and obviously COVID just squished the idea of it happening here.
No more weddings really for a
while. That's right. And they ended up, obviously we didn't move because of COVID, and then they were back and forthing a while, like, you're going to move, no you're not, yeah you are, no you're not, and I was just going insane.
Well, it also was the age of working from home.
Well, and
flexibility around that.
Well, the problem was I didn't have any work. There was nothing. I didn't know what to do with myself because my life for the last 10 years have been makeup. Like, I gave away my admin roles. Like, I've got a history of admin. And I think I'm like allergic to admin now. I don't think I could ever go back. I would just go insane. It's just, that's my old life.
Sorry, I was thinking about Mike's job, and he could work from home from Canberra.
Oh,
Melbourne,
right. Yes, no, yes. He was
Yeah.
working from home, yes. But there was nothing for me. Like I thought you meant like I could have picked something up.
Yeah,
but,
no.
I probably
Sorry.
could have, but I oh, God no. So for a while I tried to get a job at Sledgehammer where Mike works.
Yeah.
But that didn't pan out, and for the better, because it wouldn't have been good. It was not for me. Like I love gaming, but I don't. You know, there's a difference between loving gaming and working for a game development company. Like it's not as glamorous as one might think. It's actually really complicated and difficult. So, and I knew that because like Mike and I met at a game development school. So I was doing admin and he was teaching programming. Anyway, that's off track. But
That's all right. We like off track.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, have you read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow?
No.
It's a fiction book that's come out about, and it's set in like the main characters are like game developers.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, cool. I'll chuck it in my Audible.
Sorry, speaking of links, anything that we discussed today will be in the links to it will be in the description box below.
Nice. Where was I? Yes. So eventually they said, I put my foot down and said, look, I need to know whether we're moving or not. And they said no, and they made Mike permanently remote. So that's when I was like, okay, I have to find something to do with my life. And I just was not having luck with that.
Yeah.
It was really awful, kind of just feeling directionless at, 40 years old, like with all this life experience and not knowing what to do with myself. Didn't want to get back into makeup, not that that was an option at the time anyway. So anyway, for my 40th birthday, I made this joke like, oh, why would I just like fly to the UK on my own? And Mike's like, do you want to? I'm like, okay. So he bought me a trip to the UK for my 40th birthday.
Oh my gosh, amazing. I love that.
Which is crazy. So I went to Scotland and spent a couple of weeks in Scotland. And I met up with an old friend on the Isle of Skye. She's from Norway, so she flew over and we went for a couple of days, hang out for a couple of days, and she is an knitter. So she wanted to go to Shillistare, which is the Isle of Skye Natural Dye Co. And they got beautiful yarns, like British grown and spun yarns there. And they do all natural dyeing. They forage all of their materials from the island. It's really beautiful. Anyway, so we went there and I bought a skein of yarn, and because we were there, so I'm like, I'll get a skein. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. We came back and I thought, well, I guess I better learn to knit so I can make something with this skein I bought, and it just literally snowballed from there. So I started knitting, and then the stash started growing, and then I did I think I bought some coarse spun cotton and just knit like a chunk of fabric to see if I could knit, and I kept it, and it's just ridiculous. It's full of holes, and I kept like switching from stockinette to garter, and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
That's okay.
It's hilarious, but to look at it now and compared to what I do now, how far I've come in just 5 years is nuts. Just with knitting, so it basically went on from there. I did apply for a job at Blackwattle to be a dye assistant, and then I got really sick, and I was sort of like off my feet for 3 months. And Angela at Blackwattle was like, oh, we'll keep the job for you, and she was super understanding and kind, but after 3 months I was like, I can't ask you to keep holding it, you obviously you need somebody. So I let that go, and I ended up just doing the course with her. So they do the dyeing course out at their farm, and I loved it. So I came home and then do what I do with all crafts that I start, buy everything. Bought like pans and jugs and little dye kits and all that sort of stuff. And I thought, I'll just do this at home for my own projects, and it didn't. It got bigger than that, and I found up like lots of yarn everywhere, and I was like, oh, I'm going to start selling this on Etsy, and then it just got bigger. And
so you've gone from Etsy, now you've got your own website.
Yes.
Is it obsessionyarns.com.au?
So that's kind of in a nutshell
so
how it started.
I don't feel that you need to have to like give up trade secrets, but how do you, I'm not even sure how to ask this question. What methods do you use, or how do you like dye your yarn? Because sometimes I've seen some reels on Instagram, and it looks really physical.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're really, you know, sometimes you see people just pouring the color in the pan or whatever, and it looks like, yeah, like you're just pouring color in a pan, right? But like, I don't know, you've been like, it looks like you're almost churning the yarn.
Yes.
Like, how are you dyeing?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, the videos where people are just pouring, they're probably just videoing that because that's a pretty part of the process. There's, you know, yarn dyeing is physical work. It doesn't matter who's doing it. You, like, especially if you're doing immersion dyeing, like that's like the yarn in the pot.
Yeah.
Like, you have to lift it out and put it back in, and you have to rotate it to get the evenness of the color or whatever effect you want. So it is always physical work. It is ridiculously hard on your body.
And you've got to be careful not to felt it, right? Or it's like...
Superwash doesn't felt. So most, you know,
so that's
I only dye superwash colors. I've tried working with non-superwash, but it doesn't suit my style. You know, there's other dyers out there that do it and they do it well and it's their thing, so I just leave it for them. It doesn't really inspire me. What inspires me is the punchy colors and the speckles and things like that. So
that vibrant color, I think you're really getting from the way that the superwash yarn takes up the color.
Exactly right. So that's my sort of demographic, that's my area. Yes, but in terms of technique, so my technique started out from what Angela teaches at Black Wattle. So that was the foundation, the basis for my dyeing technique. And I remember even during the course, I wanted to do a gradient, which is like I do lots of gradients now. And Angela was like, I guess you could do that, because everyone else is doing like variegateds, like just like she showed them and being all like, and I'm just like, I want to do a neon green, you know, gradient with black at the end. And then she's just like, and we were working with her Grevillea base, which is non-superwash. So like all these neon dyes, and it wouldn't exhaust. Anyway, it was a bit of a nightmare, but it worked out in the end, and the color was really fun. But anyway, so I took what I learned from her and kind of just, I didn't do a lot of more training after that. Like I got on to the School of Sweet Georgia, which is great. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I've heard of Sweet Georgia yarn.
Yeah, so Sweet Georgia's I can't remember her name. Anyway, she runs the school, and it's a really, really great resource for like dyers, indie dyers, or anyone just wants to learn to dye at home, or like there's so much on there: knitting, spinning, everything you can imagine yarn craft. She's got like a little course.
I know her as, well, I guess a yarn dyer, knitter, and spinner.
Yeah. There's so much on there, and you have to pay a subscription, but it's not like a subscription that you can't get out of. So you can sort of just pay a month and do what you want, and then jump out, which is really great. Yeah. So at the beginning, when I started like getting into experimenting and things like that, I was a bit worried that I might be doing things wrong, or that I might not get color fastness, or anyway, I just wanted to make sure I was doing the core basics professionally, so I was offering a professional product. So I did a few courses on Sweet Georgia, which were really super helpful. I found that I didn't learn much more than what I knew from Black Wattle. It was really just a few techniques, but my core training from Black Wattle was really good. So all the basics of like what you need to do to get the color to really lock into the fibers and things like that. So after that, I knew that I had the basics down, the things that I had to do to, have a good skein of yarn. So then all in between those basics, I just went nuts. I just started breaking rules, like throwing dry skeins into like pots of color, and just anything I could think of, just to try and get a different effect, or, see what would happen. So my core vibe is to just do what the hell you want. If you think it's going to look cool, you want to try this, don't go, I shouldn't do that, that's not how you do it, that's not the technique, it's not right. I disagree with that. As long as you're doing the core foundation things to have the dye lock into the fiber and to rinse out after you finish and all that sort of stuff, you can do whatever you want in between.
That's really freeing.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of artistic people are scared of that, because they don't like that sort of experience it as a teacher, like teaching makeup. A lot of my students were scared to experiment, break out, I did painting lessons for a while with an amazing artist, Margaret Hadfield in Canberra. She's got like a great little studio. She does classes, and I went and did classes with her, and I loved it. We'd be painting and I would be stressing out, and she'd just go, it's only paint, don't worry about it, we'll just scrape it off and start again. Just get a new canvas, you know, like. And that's what I used to say to my girls or my students about makeup. It's just makeup. If it doesn't work, just take it off and start again. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, don't be scared, just go for it. And I think that's a nice sort of philosophy to have with dyeing. I mean, obviously you can't have endless base yarn, it's expensive, but you know, you can get like some mini skeins and, you know, like of a cheaper base and experiment as a dyer, you know, to see what happens. And it's pretty hard to make something that somebody won't like, if that makes sense. So I can make the ugliest, most ick that I look at and go, ew, and somebody will love it. And they'll make a scarf and they'll wear it every day.
This is the thing about art. And I think as, like, I'm not in the art industry. I mean, other than like yarn and fiber, right? Like, I'm not an artist. I don't have that background. And I always wonder, like, what actually makes art good?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the question, isn't it? Like, for example, go to a contemporary art gallery, right? So how many percentage of the pieces you're going to look at and go, what is that? Like, you know, that's just nothing. It's weird. It's like, a lot of people might say that, but someone down the street, the next person over is going to look at it and go, I can totally see where they were coming from. I think that's beautiful. You know, I understand it. So it's totally subjective. Everyone is so different, you know, and something I look at that completely turns me off, somebody else will look at it and will just be the best thing they've ever seen. So I guess it took me a while to remember that when I was creating like yarn, because with makeup for me it was always just what I loved to do. Like, I guess you get a brief sometimes, obviously, if you've got somebody going to a specific event, they want a specific look, so you do that. But if I was creating my own stuff, it was always just what I wanted to see. And that's what people would encourage you to do as an artist. They'd say, you know, do what you love. And with yarn, it's the same, style-wise, but colour-wise, I need to branch out. Because I know that if I just produce the colours I like, I'm narrowing my demographic. Do you know what I mean? So I need to, like, broaden my horizons a bit so I can include everybody, and, you know, give everyone, you know, baby poo green is my least favourite colour to work with. I shouldn't call it baby poo green, I'll call it light olive green, right?
Okay.
So like a light olive green or something. Like, some people I'm wearing friggin' olive green, what am I talking about?
Sorry, all the olive green lovers.
I'm wearing it, so anyway, I wouldn't knit with it. Like, I wouldn't knit with like a really mustardy, olivey, like.
I have a sweater that was knit by my husband's grandmother in that color.
Yeah.
And I wear it only because I feel like it's a piece of history and
Totally.
family, like, and it's quite cuddly.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, there'll be a color that is just not you, and you're like, I'm never going to work with that. But there'll be somebody else who loves it. So I guess, it's I can't even remember how we got onto this. Was I trying to make a point somewhere?
Oh, we were talking about methods, dyeing methods.
Technique, right, yes. So I think I kind of answered that. So I guess my techniques, like my base techniques, I work in pans and pots. So in pans, you're able to, I guess like paint, you can layer colors, you can speckle dry dye, you can, dump a spoon of dry dye into it, make a really saturated spot. You can heat as you go. So basically you can like exhaust layers, exhausting meaning to like absorb the dye into the yarn.
So when it's exhausted, the water is actually clear, but the yarn has the color.
Correct. So that's when it's like really locked in. So for example, if I had two colors and threw them into the pan before it was exhausted, those colors would mix and create a different color. But if I did one color and let it exhaust, that's going to be that base color, and then you put another color, it'll create a layer.
Oh.
Right? So you can do so much with just two or three colors. If you keep layering those two colors, you'll keep getting like different layers, and then you can do speckles and all that sort of stuff. So it's
I do love a speckle.
Yeah.
And that's the theme for the September cal that I'm running.
Right.
So it's not about using local yarns. So if you have any of Marie's speckled yarn, you might want to cast that on this month.
There's a few skeins in the shop at the moment, which is rare. So
get on it.
Yeah.
And talking about colors, what are your favorite colors to dye, and why do you like to color them?
That is a tough question.
It's like picking your favorite child, right?
Yeah.
Because you had your desert island color that we've already talked about.
Yes. I think
or maybe a shade, like
yeah. I think so. Adaminaby is one of my most popular colorways ever, and I made it by accident. It was some of my most popular colorways are accidental, like, or they're over dyes, where I've stuffed something up and then just chucked a color on top so it's usable, and then they turn out to be the most popular colors.
That's funny.
Yeah, but Adaminaby was it the last colorway? I think it was the last colorway in A Beautiful Life, which was my 2023, I think, advent. Isn't that terrible? I can't believe that was 2 years ago. Oh my God. So it turned out really beautiful in the mini skeins. And because when I dye my advent, I sort of create as I go. So I have a base, like a base guide for the color I'm dyeing, but then I develop it as I go. So redeveloping it for a main skein, like for a 100-gram skein, is quite challenging. And I think I nailed it, like, with that color. And it's just got so much depth and so many, you know, like, as you knit with it, it just changes every millimeter, and there's
I love that.
Yeah, it's
like
just
each stitch being a different color.
Yeah, and sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I can't believe I made that. It's so cool, you know. So that's probably one of my favorites, to watch it come to life. Like, there's transformative moments when you chuck like a blue wash on it and it just completely changes the whole thing. Like, yeah, so that's really fun. And I mean, the bright rainbow colors are really fun, you know, once you get the technique down and the frustration's gone. Because at the start, when you're experimenting with bases and all that sort of stuff, you get a lot of bleeding, and you know, when you put too many colors together, you get brown. You don't want brown in a rainbow. So it's like,
it's not the first color you think of when you think of rainbow.
Exactly. So it's challenging to get that initial technique down pat, but once you do, it's like really fun to watch it working out. You're like, it's fun. So
cool. Yeah. And let's talk about Advent. Has this year sold out?
Yeah. So
okay, sorry.
Well, there will be a couple of extra kits, like literally a handful, going up in November, because I keep a couple in case there's a shipping drama or something.
Okay.
But I'll put that on my Instagram. But they sold in, I think it was June. I did a sale and they sold out in less than 24 hours, which blew my mind.
Wow.
Couldn't believe it. Yeah, it's just amazing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, they're a lot of work. Can you tell us what your process is for, like, developing, how you like packaging? There's so many aspects to it that because I don't know, I love an Advent. And I generally don't buy my Advents that early, but I always get FOMO. So I'm the November purchaser, right? But it just makes, for me, the Advent experience makes December a much more mindful. When I open my Advent, it's a period of that day. Like, normally you're crazy busy during December, right?
Yeah.
But when I have an Advent, I have just that time, whether it's 3 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can, like, just sit, focus on something really pretty that makes me happy. Yeah. And, you know, the rest of the day can happen.
Absolutely.
But I've always got that mindful moment.
Yeah. And it is really good for that.
And that's what Advents mean to me.
Yeah.
So, but there's
I love that.
like so much involved in actually creating that moment.
Yes. Oh my God. So, okay. So from the word go, I mean, obviously you need a concept. There needs to be like some kind of a theme. I mean, some people do Advents, like dyers do Advents that don't have a theme. They'll just be like a color theme, and it has a name, and that's it. For me, I love a full-blown themed project that has a feeling. I think that must stem back from childhood, because I don't know, do you remember school projects, like in primary school, and you get like your little project book, and you know, like your A3 project book, and you do all the research and all the colouring and all those things that you stick in it. I think it stems from that, like just wanting this big thing with all these facets and, you know, parts, like rather than it just being the yarn. It's like, no, I want it to be an experience. And I don't know, it's really become a heart project for me. Like, it's my favorite thing that I do in my business. And it is like, I've heard people talk about like childbirth when they're like, oh, you know, I had a child and it was the worst thing in the world and I'm never doing it again. And then, you know, a year later you talk to them, oh, I'm pregnant again. You're like, what?
Wasn't that bad, right?
Right. So I think you forget at the end of each year, like how much work it is. And then the next year, like, Advent. And then it's, so it's a lot, right? And it's mental. And this year I kind of expanded my how many I sold again, because it sold out so quickly, and I had some regulars who have bought my Advents from the beginning messaging me, and I was like, oh God, I couldn't not. So I extended and made sure they all got one. So I'm doing the most that I've ever done, which is nuts. And it's over 4,300 mini skeins.
Oh my gosh. I can't even like conceptually think about what that would look like in a box.
Yeah,
like even if just boxed up.
Yeah, it would probably take up about like a quarter of this room.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty crazy. And boxed up like in the actual Advent boxes, it would be like
way more. Yeah.
Half the room.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, I guess, there's your concept. You know, you've got to nut out your color story. Mine is a complete secret, so I don't give away. I don't even put like, I usually give like a basic idea of the color story, but I found that it can be misleading. Like, even though I try to make it super accurate, unless you tell people exactly what the colors are, I've had people going, oh, it's not what I thought it was going to be. So now I just go, you know what? This is the hero image. That's your inspo.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, don't buy the Advent, because you won't like the Advent.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I mean,
so,
it is always a bit of a...
It's a mystery yarn box. Like, you've got to have an open mind. It's my creative expression. If you don't like what I make, you're probably not going to like the Advent. If you do, then there's a good chance you will. So yeah. So nutting out the color story is hard. This year it took me quite a few attempts. I wasn't happy with it. I was a bit stressed out, but I got there in the end, which is good. And so then sort of while that's happening in the background, I'm prepping minis. So basically, when you buy a mini skein from a supplier, it has multiple little ties on it to keep them together.
Okay.
I remove 2 of them and just leave the main tie that holds it all together.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you get what we call resist points, which is where the ties can be too tight and leave little white spots. So when you're dyeing 4,000 you don't want to be dealing with resist points, because you get them out and you're looking at them and then you see one mini skein with a resist point, you're like, you know, and it's
so frustrating.
It is, and it's not like you can go, oh, it's just one skein. So every person who buys an Advent only gets one. So every one has to be perfect. Yeah. Right? There is no, oh, you know, you can just hold, like, you know, knit alternate rows, and if that one's a bit different, it doesn't matter. Like, no, they've got to be perfect, because it's everyone's, you know, for me anyway, like, my standards are pretty high. I want everyone to get that perfect experience. So like my quality control is pretty crazy. So I prep each mini skein by cutting off those little ties. So that's 4,000 mini skeins.
Oh my God, 4,000 times 2, that's 8,000 snips.
Yeah, it really is.
Look at me do math.
Yeah. And I tie them into bunches. So I have like, so basically I have 4 skeins in a pan when I'm dyeing. So each skein is 5 minis. So I tie them into 4 bunches of 5 minis. Okay. And then tie them together and put them in a tub, for like a daily tub. So because I have 4 different bases, I also have to make sure I prep the correct amount of each base. And then I have to put a certain tie on it that identifies that base from the others, so I don't get them mixed up. Because I have 3 4-ply bases, so. So there's that. They all go in a tub once you've done all the prep, because I do all of the prep at the start, so I don't have to worry about prepping while I'm dyeing. Yeah. And in between that, I'm making stitch markers, you know, because everyone gets a little stitch marker, goes, oh cute, I've got to make, you know, 160 of those. So, and yeah, there's like quite a few stitch markers in this year, so I've been working on those. And then just all the little extra bits. So I go hunting for small businesses that can work with me wholesale, so I can supply like fun extra gifts that kind of marry up with the theme of the Advent and are made by an Australian company, small business. But now that my size is a bit bigger, I need to go with companies that are a little bit more established, because I'm not giving any secrets away, but I do have one maker that is a smaller maker that's working with me this year, and I profusely asked her if she was cool with it. I said, it's a lot of work. Are you sure you're okay with it? I don't want you to hate doing this at the end of it.
Yeah.
Because you can make 10 of something and that's nice, but when you're making 160 of something, it's like...
That's a lot of things.
It's a lot. So, but she's doing it, so very lucky for me and for all my adventers.
Yay. Can't wait for the reveal.
Yes. But like other things, I'll pick companies that have the capacity to just like, we can pack that sort of tomorrow, we've got stock, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, so they're still small businesses and they're still Australian made. They're just a little bit bigger. So I found a couple this year that are really great. And last year I do a feedback survey to my adventors every year just to get a vibe on how they enjoyed it, what they thought about it.
How's that worked? Because I think,
I just send it out like a Survey Monkey thing, just via email. You know, I usually get about a 50% response rate, which is great.
That's really good.
Yeah, just asking people, you know, and I make it anonymous so they can give me honest feedback, which sometimes is hard to hear. But you have to take it constructively and not personally, which again is very hard, especially when it's your heart project. But if you don't ask the hard questions, you get the hard answers, you can't get better. So the survey is very important because it enables me to, you know, make things just a little bit better. And based off the feedback, people were saying they wanted more like branded things, like from the Advent themselves. I can't say without giving things away. I'm not going to say much more than that, but I took that on board.
Okay.
So there is, I'm just trying to figure out my words so I don't give away secrets. Yeah, there are unique things in this Advent.
Perfect. We can leave it at that.
That are being designed and made for the Advent.
Yep.
And so it's like no one else can get those things.
Amazing. Now you'll be stalking Instagram in November looking for the extras kits.
Yes. And the packaging, same deal this year. I can't say too much, but I've gone above and beyond with that this year. I just want to make it really special. So, and of course, there's the packaging. So there's little boxes for every mini. That's 4,600 little boxes that we have to build and pack. So that's a thing.
Well, and that doesn't even start with like color development.
Yeah. So
like
of course,
all of that's before you actually get to what colors is it?
Yeah, that's right. So as I said, I've got the way I do it. I've got my story that I design, and I nut that out with pencils like watercolors, just so I've got like a basic sort of guide, because I work best in the studio. Like sometimes it's fun to just haphazardly throw colors in a pan, but I feel like you can only do, or for me anyway, I can only do that for so long before I just start recreating stuff. Like I need a bit of a plan, like a bit of a guide. I have my guide laid out in front of me, and I have like, you know, the hero image up, so I'm looking at it all the time and making sure I get that right, because I recreate colors really well. So if I can see a color, I can recreate it really well in the pan. Like I know my dyes really well and what mixes together, and
I reckon that comes from the makeup.
I'd say it helps. And the dyes, it took a really long time to get to know them. Like I know exactly what they do. Like I know a lot of dyes will break and make other colors. So like you've got blues that you can speckle, and the blue will break and put like pink and brown spots in your colorway. So some colors don't do that. They don't break. So you're getting to know which one does what. Is time and experience and all that sort of stuff. And you can also chuck it on wet paper towel and it will do similar things, dry dye, like it will show you what it does. But so all that's happening in the background. My dye schedule is pretty much like 2 days on, 2 days off, throughout all of the next sort of 6 weeks. And smashing it out and twisting in between. So of course you've got to twist all the minis as well. And I get calluses on my fingers by the end of it. So it's pretty wild. And then I'll probably get some help. It's just been me and my husband, and a couple of family members will help here and there packing. And, but I think I've got a couple of people coming to help with packing this year, which will be nice.
Excellent.
Yep. And then we box it all up. It's normally a pretty big event over a couple of days. I cleanse Dye Studio out completely, and I use my tables to pack everything up. And, and then they get shipped, and they get picked up, and it's pretty crazy. Even printing out the shipping labels takes like a good few hours, you know.
Yeah.
A good evening or 2 evenings.
And when we're a one person operation, like that's
it's literally 95% me.
Yeah.
The help I get is not that much really.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
and of course people are like, I can help you twist it. I'm like, no you can't. I'm like, try it. And they twist it, I'm like, that's not good enough.
Do you have one of those mechanical ones?
I do, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, God.
thank God.
God, no, I couldn't survive without it. I think I started getting like, my knuckles started getting like arthritic from twisting when I first started twisting skeins. Yeah, so I did like I did some work for a yarn store a while ago, and they wanted like mini bunches. That was the first time. That was before I did Advent. That was the first time I was doing like a decent stack of minis, and I was winding them, going, oh, I can't deal with this, and that's when I branched out and bought the hand twister. So
I think it's the coolest thing. I want to operate one time. So.
Yes, they're fun. They're very great.
Now I've got a blast from the past, which is this is the funniest thing ever. So the first, it's one word, which is obession.
Obession.
I still crack up when
Oh my God. Yes.
It was the big wool show,
Yes.
right? Everyone will remember that when we were all locked up and we got to all hang out on YouTube, and like
It was our savior.
it was literally like
It was
a knitting
The
retreat
best thing ever.
from home. I loved that.
And you could feel the vibe and the community and how excited everyone was, and
Yeah.
it was so good.
So my question is, how important are yarn shows and the fiber community to your business model? Like,
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, it's been tough for me because I have, health challenges, and the work is very physical, and getting out to markets can be a big challenge.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge is stock. So, sure, I can get to a market, but if I don't have any yarn, what's the point?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
all the time to prep for that. I've found over the last couple of years, I end up signing up to everything and having to drop out and letting, putting things up on Instagram, like I got to drop out of another market, feeling terrible. And I just don't want to do that anymore. So I just decided to stop signing up for markets, unfortunately, while I'm in this uncertain time with my health and all that sort of thing. However, the Australian Yarn Show, which is based in Canberra, when Kat and John from Fancy Yarn started putting that together, I really, really wanted to be a part of it because I just loved her, I don't know, she's got big kahunas, put it that way, to do what she's done. She's amazing, or they are amazing, they're incredible, motivational, driven people, and what they've built is really quite incredible, and Kat actually came and talked to me about it when she first had the idea, which I was really humbled by, that she wanted my opinion. She's like a very professional businesswoman, and I was like, you want my opinion? Oh, okay. It was quite nice that she asked me, and we had conversations about it, and and when she started, it was just I was just so proud, and sadly I couldn't be a vendor at the first show because I was quite unwell, but I made up for it with the second one, and I really wanted to show up as a Canberra dyer, Canberra built market, that has turned into such a huge Australian event, multinational people coming from everywhere, to vend and to shop. It's just, so I've decided to make that basically my key market. So that's every year, that will be my 100%, put everything into it. I'll, put aside a good 3 months of preparation. It's basically Advent and then straight into prep for the yarn shows. So so that show I think is super important. It's because it's more than just a market, it's a collaborative community event, and there's so much education and conversation and networking and meeting people, and just the vibe is so nourishing, and so super important, super important. It's more more than about just buying yarn. It's about the love of the craft and what it does for you, and what we all get out of it, and just meeting people. So did I answer the question?
Totally. Totally. I want to get to that show at some point. It just hasn't
fabulous.
Well, it's slightly less convenient for me geographically, but
yeah.
And flights to Canberra can be
I don't
really
know
expensive
what
from
it
Melbourne.
is. It's mental, and it's Canberra to anywhere. I don't know. They torture us with the flights are just ridiculous.
Anyway.
So yeah. Unless you book, months and months in advance, and even then, it's still not that cheap.
Yeah.
It's still a good, $400 or $500. So, yep. Unless you get in on a happy hour or something like that. But I highly recommend making the effort for the Australian Yarn Show. It is fabulous.
We'll have to see. Have you been to the Australian Yarn Show? Let us know what you think about it in the comments.
Yes.
Okay, bases. You talk about, I think you mentioned 4. Do you have...
Oh, for the Advent, yeah.
For the, just for the Advent.
My bases are available bases at the moment. I have like 25, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there's an additional 7 like specialty bases that I keep like a bit of stock in just in case people want something like that. So yeah, I've got a lot. And it was a decision because when I started, I just had a couple and I was like, oh yeah, 1 4-ply, 1 8-ply sort of thing. And then I was like, but what if somebody wants to make 8-ply socks? What if somebody wants 4-ply singles? What if somebody wants...
I love an 8-ply sock.
Right, and even like an Aran weight sock, like a 10-ply sock. What if someone wants a chunky sock? Or, what if somebody wants like a beautiful soft, chunky merino in 3 different plies? And I'm just like, so I decided to just do all of it. So I decided to do a pure merino and a merino nylon blend for every weight.
Okay.
And I decided to have like a good variety of 4-ply yarn. So I've got 2 options for pure merino. I've got 2 merino nylon. I've got and lots of 8-ply as well. I've got like a BFL. I've got a sparkle that has alpaca in it.
Oh, so sparkle and drape.
Yes, definitely. It's a beautiful base. That one, that's base I, and they're all leaded. So. Yeah, so I've got a big range, and it's great because it might seem overwhelming when you first look at my bases. When you go to a pre-order and there's like 21 options, you're like, what do I choose?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually not that difficult to narrow it down because you just have to ask yourself, like, what do I normally make?
Yep.
Right? Do I normally make shawls? Yes, okay. Do I normally make a 4-ply shawl, an 8-ply shawl? I use an 8-ply shawl, so I'll go for an 8-ply.
Yeah.
If I don't know what I'm gonna, does this color look like something I might make a sweater in or a shawl in, and you can kind of narrow it down that way.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
I made a little YouTube video on that, but I could probably expand on it because I used to feel the same way when I first started buying indie yarn. I go to the dyers' websites and look at all the bases and go, I don't know what to get.
It's unpacking that, and working that out.
That's right.
Yeah.
And in the end, I think once people have started to understand that process, the orders I get are so random. And I usually sell in my big pre-orders. I sell some of every base, so people are getting what they want to knit with. And I just think it's important to have the choice.
Yeah.
Not be limited to a project because you can't get that color in the weight you want.
Yeah, it's just like art though, right? Everybody's gonna want something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think it's great to be able to offer like a 5-ply merino nylon. Like if you want to knit a 5-ply sock, or that's an unusual base, or I
was just thinking that I've never heard of that.
Yeah, or like the brushed fluff lace weight that I've got. Do
you have a brushed fluff 8-ply?
I don't.
We identified a gap.
Yeah, there could be more. Well, you could hold my lace weight together.
Hold it double.
You could hold the lace weight together, and it's like 600 meters, so plenty of
yardage. Meterage,
yeah.
Sorry.
So there's lots of options, and the specialty bases, I've got like a chunky alpaca and like a boucle 8-ply. I've got a non-superwash 10-ply, so there's lots of options.
I've been thinking about boucle, a boucle project.
Yeah, they're super fluffy. It can be a bit of annoying knit because especially if you use pointy needles, it gets stuck in the loops, and you sort of get used to scooping under the loops, but it takes a bit of time.
I think it would.
Yeah, because your needles get stuck in the loops and it's like a bit frustrating at the start. But once you get used to it, it's quite fun.
Do you have any particular sustainability practices that you use in your work?
Yeah, I try to be as minimal as humanly possible. So, I mean, for one, all of my packaging shipping is either biodegradable or recyclable, or it's recycled plastic. In terms of water use, I try and go just as minimal as possible. I reuse water when I can. I don't pour dye down the sink. Like, I think maybe, like 2 days in a year I might pour dye down the sink. Like, it's always exhausted out, so I'm super careful with that. I mean, I try my hardest. You know, I acknowledge that there's going to be waste in any sort of business like mine, like where you're creating you know, consumables and things like that. But yeah, I do my best. I'm constantly trying to sort of like make improvements where I can. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So in addition to yarn, Marie, you have the coolest like knitting accessories as well. I've been stalking the website. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. I love making stitch markers. I've always loved like cute things and like just little charms and trinkets my whole life. And when I started making like dyeing yarn, I thought, I want, you know, little add-ons or whatever. So I went around to all the bead shops that I could find and just started collecting all manner of things. I just learned how to make them and like using them and making sure they weren't snagging the yarn and like they're easy to use and not too heavy and things like that. And it's kind of just branched out, and I've found like heaps of places to get really cool charms, and now I just don't hold back with it. Like, I don't think I should have a range of 5 or 6. I'm like, nah, I want like 20 different types or 50 different types. And if I see it and it's cute, I'll buy it and make it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that people love it because they always sell out eventually. Like, I always sell out of a style and it's gone. And I usually, like there's a couple now that I keep all the time, like some staple like cat ones.
I was just going to say the cats are the cutest.
That I feel like everyone needs. So they're like always available. But like I'll do like shorter runs of like cute little designs, and I love beadwork as well, so I love like actually making, you know, unique sets and things like that. They're really quite time consuming.
Yes, I've done some like bead jewelry making before, so I know, it's very time consuming.
It is, but they're really beautiful and they catch the light while you're working, and it's fun to work with them. And most recently I started working with like natural gemstones, and I've made like earrings, and so you can get like matching earrings and stitch markers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I really love working with those. They're just so beautiful, so it's fun.
Do you have any, this is my dream, and I don't think I've found it yet. I want a set that's specifically for like a raglan sweater.
Right.
So you'd need 8.
Yes.
Right? 2 for each of the raglan increases.
Yes.
And then 1
beginning
for
of row.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, that's a really good idea. Raglan sets. Yeah, so because you could have like two different colors at the front and the back. And then, I like that idea.
I've been on the lookout and I haven't found it. I mean, obviously I could buy 2 packs, right? But like,
it'd be cool to get like just the.
Yeah, I like that.
I like it too. Good idea.
Thank you. So where can viewers find you?
Primarily on social media. I'm Instagram. I just find it the easiest platform, so that's where I post the most. And I'm on Facebook as well. Aside from that, it's just my website. And the Australian Yarn Show is, unless I'm on my deathbed, I'll be there every year.
Yeah.
And who knows, I might get to other markets, but primarily.
Are there any yarn shops that do wholesale? Who might reliably find you?
Yeah, so I've got some at the Markets Waniasa in Canberra. Where have I sent some lately? The Cozy Cottage.
The new one in Perth.
Western Australia, yeah. So I've got some yarns there, and I'm doing a restock for her later in the year. Excuse me. And where else am I? Gosh. Not many shops at the moment. I've sort of backed off wholesale a bit because it's a lot of work.
And it's Advent season.
Exactly right. And I find with wholesale, I'm punching out so much of the same color, start feeling a bit like a factory.
Yeah.
I'm not a factory, I'm of one person, so it's not like I've got someone helping me with that stuff. You know, that might be smart, but then I'm not dyeing it, and it's not my yarn, so I kind of made a decision to stay around the size I am, so I can still just pour me into it, you know? Yeah. Who knows if that'll change one day, but for now, for the foreseeable future, I'm gonna keep it pretty small and just be me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's the best theme, is to just be me.
Yeah.
Like,
just authentically me,
mantra.
and you know that every skein you get is dyed and twisted and packed by me. You know, like it's just my thing that I'm putting out in the world. So
that's awesome, and we love it.
Yay.
We love it. Thank you so much for coming on today.
It's so fun.
I've got a little bit of admin about the cal. Don't forget about the Love Locale. So it's a make-along for crochet projects where we make patterns by Australian and New Zealand designers in Australian and New Zealand yarn. And you can enter through the Ravelry page, which can be accessed on the Louie and Lola Ravelry page, or you can enter by posting your finished objects on Instagram with the hashtag LoveLocal with a K or a C, because it's open for knitting or crochet.
Nice.
And don't forget to tag Fibremates.
Yes.
So I will see your entry. All
Very
right.
cool.
Awesome.
Yay.
Well, thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you want to be notified about more Fibremates episodes.
Do it.
Thank you. And thanks so much, Marie, again, for this.
Thank
and
you.
the last minute nature of it. Like,
it just worked out. So.
It did.
Meant to be.
It was 100%. Thank you so much. Until next time, everybody, happy knitting.
Happy knitting.